I got an email last night from somebody who's 20, about to turn 21, asking me what my advice to my 20-year-old self would be. And number one would be, and this is something I was so guilty of, life does not end at 25 or 30 or whatever number, or whatever young number you want to pick. And and to me, the question is asked in an impatient way, and it's something I was so guilty of. I was in such a rush that thinking that I had to make a success of my business by the time I was 25, or I had to be a multi-millionaire by the time I was 25, 28, 30. And if I hadn't done that, then it was too late, and I hadn't achieved anything. At 35, 40, 45 years old, you've still got 20, 30, 40, maybe even longer, decent years ahead of you, to have achieved what you want to achieve. And success takes time, it takes patience. Don't be impatient. Don't be thinking, fuck, if I haven't done this by the time I'm 20 something, then I'm over. But the reality is, it takes time, it takes patience, to build that business, to create that product and, ultimately achieve something great. So don't worry, don't be in a rush. I think number two, I'd be saying, find something that you love and do what you love. To be successful in what you do, you've got to be slogging your bollocks out on it, 8, 10, 12, 15 hours a day for for months and years, and, but potentially many years. And if you don't love it, then, then you're not going to give it. Ultimately, you're not going to have the energy and the desire to give it the longevity that it needs to make a success out of it. And I think there's so many different ways to make money in things that you do love and things that you are passionate about, that there's absolutely no need to be doing it in something that you're just not passionate about. And I think it takes a very money-driven, almost like mercenary person to actually be able to make a success of something that they don't enjoy, because to go to work day in, day out doing something that is just miserable. I think finally I would say, make sure you take the right advice from the right people. When I was young, or when I was younger, I was very much guilty of probably thinking I knew everything, or the things I didn't know, being happy to try and learn them on my own or learn them from my mistakes. And, I talk a lot about mentorship and having the right person to mentor you, or the right examples to follow. And that's something that, I always say I didn't pick up on until, much later in life. I think my journey could have been accelerated better, certainly smoother, if I had mentors along the way and took advice, and specifically the right advice from the right people. Well, the other question that this guy asked me in the email was do I have any regrets? Or what specific regrets have I got? And again, I'm always very much a person that says I don't regret anything that I've done, just the things that I haven't done. But if I had to say, are there any things that I really regret? It would be looking back and not taking the right advice at certain times. Many people know, and I'm not shy about my history and my journey, and obviously the bankruptcy and problems I had around 2008. And looking back, I could have had a much smoother ride thereafter by taking the right advice from the right people. And at the time, I probably I did take advice, but certainly not the right advice, that and it's stuff that's looking back has bit me in the arse a few times along the way, and my journey could certainly have been a lot smoother. Looking back, like I say, I only regret the things that I haven't done, as long as it's been a learning experience for me along the way, and I've learned from my mistakes and done better and try not to do the same thing again next time.